Transforming my fridge from drab to fab, baby. Let's get it. I used disco tile adhesive strips and cut them into a bunch of little squares. And I needed so many more of these than I expected. I did a test run with some fun tack just to make sure I was gonna like it. Upon placing my first actual square down to start the project, I realized how impossibly difficult these were to take off. So I needed to find a solution to make it easier to remove. So I tested out some tape to see if that would make it better, and it did. After some trial and error later, I discovered that using duct tape definitely would have been better for this, but the project is already done, so all the coulda, woulda, shouldas don't matter. It's really tricky to go around the handles because you needed to use different like shapes and measurements, and I tried to do a little on this side and a little on that side to make sure everything was going to be even. Then I had to figure out what was going to work best for the sides, and had to do some customization around this as well, which also took trial and error just like everything else. I expected this just to be like a fun little distraction project for me, but it was so much harder than I ever thought. It was the end of the first day, had a boo-boo and made a mess, but we made progress. I had to customize it further around the ice maker, which, by the way, that ice maker has been broken since I got this fridge and 3 different repair people could not figure it out. I ended up messing up the measurement above the ice maker just ever so slightly, which resulted in me having to rip it off and start those couple rows again, which is not only frustrating, but also painful. Made a mess, but got it back in gear and was able to save some of the tiles, which is good. A couple more boo-boos down and we fixed it up. Also, saving my scraps and organizing them was very helpful for me during this process. One thing I did notice as someone who's like very type A and has OCD, and not in like the cute quirky way, but like actually has it, it's so hard to do a project like this because the tiles aren't manufactured 100% evenly, so they don't match up perfectly. And check out these battle wounds. I was determined to finish this day. I did make another mistake in which I had to remove, but I kept trucking along, and at the very, very top row, I once again had to customize the measurements even further to finish it. I did not have relief though, because my hands were not okay, and then I knew I had to tackle the freezer. I decided I wanted to do just a solid pink on the freezer because I literally could not fathom spending this amount of time and energy and pain doing the checkers again, but I was not feeling how the freezer was coming along. I wanted to see it through, but it wasn't seamless. I didn't like it, and the pinks like didn't match together because they were from different batches. It went a lot quicker, but I was like, no, this is not it. So I decided to rip it all off. I was able to save a bunch of them thanks to taping underneath. And I decided, you know what? I'm gonna just polish it up, make it real nice, shiny, and new looking, and that's it. Who knows how long it's gonna last? It may be temporary, and that's okay, but at least I have a fridge that's as cute as the rest of my kitchen. And I accomplished a 15+ hour DIY all by myself over the course of 4 or 5 days.